Hey, Tommy from the Run Testers, and welcome back to the monthly roundup. This is the video where we talk about all of the kit that we've tested over the past few weeks that we've not been able to talk about in some of the other videos that we've put live. So let's dive in and see what we've all picked this month.
Massive fan of Biolite head torches, and this runner specific Dash 450 is another in the lineup of great running head torches that work really well. At 78 grams and just 10 mils thick for the actual torch. It's nice and light, it's really compact. I also love the fact that you get this band that sits really comfortably on the forehead. The battery pack of this one is also relatively small, so there's minimal bounce and tug when you're wearing it at the back. Up front, you've basically got an easy to adjust 450 lumen light that shoots a 15 meter flood and a 90 meter spot beam, which is plenty bright enough to illuminate kind of dark forest runs or city runs, that kind of thing. It will remember the brightness level as well when you switch it off and back on. That is dead handy if you come into aid stations and all that kind of stuff and you have to switch it off not to blind people. The battery will last 3 hours on full burn, up to 60 if you opt for a dimmer beam. There's a really good range of light modes here for this, and a rear red sort of safety light you can have to blink. All those kind of things are covered. You can also carry a battery pack and charge this and use it at the same time, so that will extend the lifespan if you need to. I also find the controls really easy to use. They're pretty glove friendly. It's small enough to stash in a running belt if you want to take it off when you don't need it, and for around £50 I think it's a really good value option. So that is the Biolite Dash 450, a good utility head torch to have in your pack. Now, you'll know me for the channel. I'm always on the hunt for a good ultra sort of hydration vest, and I've been recently testing loads of them for Runners World. One of them I've had for a while is this La Sportiva Trail 10 litre. I really love the fact that this is made from a really soft, stretchy fabric. You know, the material of some ultra vests can feel a bit more rigid, but this really forms to the body well, so it feels really comfortable for longer miles. So up front you've got your usual two soft flask holders here. You've got a couple easy to reach stretch pockets on the side. There's one big zippered pocket here on the front that will holster a smartphone. It doesn't hold it too secure, it bounces a bit. You get one big rear compartment that's zippered as well. That's good for a jacket or a pair of waterproof trousers, some gloves, hats, all those other things. One thing I will say as well is the straps on this are a little bit minimal, the sternum straps for adjusting. When you've got lots of gear in the pack, it's not 100% bounce free. So it worked best with kind of lighter loads when I wasn't carrying a lot, when I was sort of buzzing out there for around 2 to 3 hour runs. When you've got that sort of lightweight gear, it disappears nicely and it just feels like you're wearing an extra layer more than a big old pack. There is pole storage and a built-in whistle, good for racing. You've got these kind of little toggles here you can attach other bits to. So yeah, that's a pretty good utility vest that's quite nice and light. That is a La Sportiva Trail 10 litre vest. Now, I'm not long back from running the Berlin Wall 100 miler, where I knocked a whole 3 minutes off my 100 mile PB, getting in around 22:03, 22 hours and 3 minutes. One of the things that I found really worked well, probably gave me that 3 minutes. Anyway, helped me deep into the race, keep me moving when I was really struggling, was sticking this compact little Bob and Brad Q2 Pro massage gun in my drop bag. I had it in there for around mile 60. This is a good combination of being small and light enough to stick in those drop bags, but it's powerful enough to bring relief to those sort of ultra tired muscles and tight spots that I had, where I was sort of starting to walk like the Tin Man a bit. Now, you don't need a lot of penetration on your calves and muscle groups when you've been moving for that long. So although this isn't a massively sort of powerful gun, it does well enough for those situations, and a quick 5-minute whiz over my quads, calves and into my piriformis sort of really brought some happy relief. I actually ended up loaning it out to a few fellow runners who saw what I was doing, wanted to borrow it, and got them moving too while I was at the aid station. And now I know this might be a bit of a luxury, you know, to buy a small one just for ultras, that is a bit of a luxury, but it does definitely work. I also think for home use, I'd probably shoot for a bigger, more powerful gun, but for under £80, I do think this could be a good weapon to have around the house. Not just for runners, for everyone else in the family, whatever, other people can use it for different bits and pieces. You know, it's well built, there's a good variety of smaller attachments, you get 5 in total that will get into most knots and hit most muscle groups fairly effectively for a smaller gun. The heads are a tad smaller than you get on the bigger ones, but it's 430 grams, got a soft silicone handle, it's really easy to wield, it's nice and quiet, got 5 speeds, and the other thing, to offset how small it is and the fact that it's only got like a 7mm amplitude, it can actually take quite a lot of pressure. So it doesn't hit as deep, but you can put more pressure on it. There's also a detachable temperature shifting head that flips to cold, or from hot to cold, so it goes hot and cold. If you're keen on that, it's nice to have. It's not very hot or very cold, but it's kind of okay. I basically wrapped this up in a buff rather than use the carry case as well, bunged it in my bag, and it did a great job on an ultra. So I think if you're a regular ultra runner, this might be a really good weapon to have with your aid station or your crew, just to bring you back to life.
So my first pick this month is a running vest. It's the RAB 12 litre Veil lightweight running vest. Really like this. It is a pretty formidable running vest. It's got a lot of storage space in it. It's designed for ultras and long distance running, which basically means it's got more space to store stuff that you need when you're out for a long period of time, but it's also pretty lightweight as well. I think the main thing about this for me is the storage facilities on it. So you've got this really big section at the back to store things in. Every time I use this, I seem to find another zipped pocket that crops up. So there's one that's sort of hidden away, a smaller one which you can put your keys and your like phone and stuff like that in. There's a pocket inside the main pocket. There's pockets for the bottles, which are actually in the wash at the moment. They're the soft flasks that you can use that don't take up any space. But they also have these zips around the front of those sections. Sorry, I can't find all the zips on here, but around the front they have zips in here as well, so you can put lots of things in there, like gels, depending on what you're out doing and running. Around the back, there's also some little open areas, so you can stuff clothing into the back there that doesn't have a zip on it. You've also got these straps which you can use to strap things down with or tighten the whole thing. And you can put poles in it as well, so you can store poles in the front or the back of it. So the storage for me is the main thing about this, and I've used it quite a bit. I've actually been using it as a running and as a walking backpack over the summer because it's been very hot when I've been out walking, and I've not wanted to use some of my big hiking backpacks, so I've been using this, which works very well. It also feels pretty light and breathable. It's just all in all a really good, solid backpack that if you are out doing a lot of distance or you need to carry a lot more stuff than you probably usually use if you're going out for a lighter trail run, it's really great. You can store a hell of a lot of stuff on this. You could probably even store enough to stay overnight with the space that you get in it. So well worth looking at if you want a really formidable, spacious running vest. My next pick this month is also for running longer distance on the trail. Seem to be doing a lot of trail running at the moment up on the downs. This is the KIPRUN Run 900 trail running shorts. Now these are really good because trail running shorts that are designed for lots of storage that are good quality tend to be quite expensive. These aren't actually that expensive. So these come in at $24.99, which is a pretty good price for these. And the thing I like about these is they're really breathable. The material is really, really lightweight. It just sort of flows when you're running in it. It doesn't stick against you. And dries off very, very quickly as well. So they're very comfortable, light feeling short to wear, and they don't feel synthetic or anything like that. Sometimes when you get the cheaper shorts, they can feel a little bit uncomfortable. They're not very good at wicking sweat. These are very, very good. I very much enjoy testing these. Very comfortable on the legs. The other main thing about them is storage. So you get loads of storage areas in here. You've got a really big zip panel at the back. You've got these little sections at the side for gels and things if you need it. It also has this big slip at the front, so you can put things in that, if they're like gels, or maybe a big bottle of maybe a soft flask that you can put in there as well. And inside there is another zip which you can put essentials in and like credit cards and things like that. So there is a lot of storage within these shorts. They don't have a leg liner, so they do have your usual sort of pant liner, but they don't have any compression in them as well. But I don't tend to use them liners very much when I'm training out on the trails these days. So I find to be very comfortable, really good, solid, nice pair of shorts to wear that isn't too expensive. So well worth picking up if you're looking for a good pair of shorts. And they do have some different colorways as well. I wasn't too keen on this one because I thought it was inside out when I got it. But yeah, very comfortable, well worth a look. My third pick this month is a hat I picked up to treat myself after I did a good park run the other day. So I did a Brighton Park run. and I popped into a sports shop and I saw that they had some Angry Pablo kit on. So Angry Pablo is a brand that are from Brighton. So if you're in Brighton, you'll know quite a lot about Angry Pablo probably. And they used to be mainly cycling, but now they do a lot of more running stuff. They have a running club that takes place every week in Brighton, and as part of that, they've got running cap. And as you probably know, if you watch the channel, I like running caps. I tend to buy a lot of running caps, and I've got quite a big collection of them. And so I was pretty pleased to find that Angry Pablo were doing a running cap, because I haven't actually got any Angry Pablo kit, so this was a nice chance to try that out. And it's a very nice cap. So running caps from nice brands tend to be quite expensive these days. So this is £35. It's not the cheapest cap out there, but it's quite a nice, good quality cap. What I would say about it is that it's panel based, so it looks quite nice. It shapes quite well on the head. It is, I'd probably say it's slightly thicker than some of the caps I use. So I often mention the On running cap that I tend to use most of the time. That's really, really thin and lightweight. This is a little bit thicker. So when I took it out for a run, I thought it might probably make my head a little bit hotter than normal, but it was absolutely fine. I actually used it for the ASICS Wembley London 10K last weekend, and it worked really, really well. I found it to be very, very comfortable. Didn't feel like it was very hot on the head. Felt very, very nice to wear. Seemed to wick away the sweat quite nicely, and very much enjoyed it. And I also really like the design of it as well. It's sleek. It looks quite classy. It's got some nice little detailings on it. So all in all, it's a solid running cap that's well worth the look. And you can get it from the Angry Pablo website.
So a couple of monthly essentials from me this month. I know it's been a while now. The first comes from a brand called High Estate, and this is the running apparel line from Sport Shoes, the retailer. Very much a kind of affordable line, and also still wanting to deliver something on that kind of performance front as well. Now they sent me a couple of items to test recently, which I've been using over the summer months. So that's a running vest and also their split shorts. Didn't absolutely love the running vest. Definitely had a lot more time for the split shorts, and I've used them for plenty of runs over the last couple of months. Actually, first and foremost, they are just very comfortable to wear. I like the fact that they have the kind of brief built in, so you don't necessarily have to wear something kind of underneath, and I haven't seen any really kind of bad kind of chafing when I have been using them. They kind of have a very breathable ventilated design, which is also good in those kind of hotter, kind of warmer months. And also there is a pocket around the back. It's kind of well concealed. I wouldn't say it is the best pocket I've seen in a pair of shorts, but it works well enough to kind of hold a phone. And there's also a place to kind of clip your keys in as well, and it didn't jump around too much when I was running with a phone and those keys in the back. So yeah, those are the High Estate split shorts. They are $19.99, so pretty affordable, and I definitely think they are a good kind of item to have, and an item that I would use to kind of use for most of my runs, not necessarily just my faster runs, and actually ones for those kind of hotter conditions either. So next up for me, and we're sticking to down below, is something from a brand called Path Projects. Now they have sent me a bunch of stuff to test, some stuff that are going to be more useful in the coming months, the autumn and winter running months. Some really nice stuff for kind of the hotter conditions that we've had. So some really nice socks. Also a couple of pairs of their baseliners, which... So most runners will be running underwear. That's what Path Projects calls it in its line. Now I had a pair of their Tahoe CL baseliners, which are a slightly cheaper pair, and also the Lynx PD ones, which are slightly more expensive and have a little bit extra technology kind of in play there. Now I started off with the cheaper pair. I did find that they did chafe in my runs, so I did switch over to the Lynx PD ones that I definitely had a better experience with. I really found them really comfortable. I generally use runderwear for most of my runs. These have been a nice alternative. They have kind of light compression, so you are holding things slightly in place. You've got that Polartec kind of fabric here, which kind of makes sure they kind of dry very quickly. But really, it's been about the comfort, the kind of fact it hasn't chafed during my runs, and they've been nice to wear under most of the running shorts. And they're definitely going to stick in my kind of running wardrobe alongside underwear, which are pretty much my go-to for runs and races. And I feel confident that these would be kind of alternatives that I can use to use for my training runs and when I'm racing again as well. So those are the Path Projects Lynx PD baseliners, and they sit at £29. And yeah, I've had a really good experience using those over the past month or so.
That's it from us this month. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click that little bell. And if you go in the catching below, you can find a link to our podcast, which comes out a couple of times each month. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.